Time of supply is going to decide what will be the tax rate. Okay, because in GST you must have seen there are changes in tax rate. Some things have started at 28%, went down to 18%, then went down to 5%. So time of supply is going to bound or make taxable person or compel taxable person to pay the tax. So whether it will be old rate, new rate, everything will be decided on time of supply. So time of supply is very vital and important. That is why it has been given and explained in two different sections. Time of supply for goods is explained under section 12 of CGST Act, whereas time of supply for services is explained under section 13 of CGST Act. So today we are going to see time of supply for goods, which is explained under section 12 of CGST Act. Now again I would like to recollect you, again we are going back to CGST Act. Now no more we are going to get back to any other act. Only for place of supply we have referred IGST Act, all four sections, 10, 11, 12 and 13. So now let us go to time of supply. Place of supply, everything is done. So today we are going to take it up, time of supply. So 12 is pertaining to goods, 13 is pertaining to services. Now here very clearly stated, for goods 12.1, liability of GST shall be arise at time of supply. So you can make liable someone for paying of tax. You will compel someone to pay off GST under section 12 subsection 1. Okay. Section 12 subsection 2 talks about forward charges. Forward charges means when the recipient is liable to pay the tax. Okay. So you have to take earlier of the following. What is earlier of the following? Either you will take the date of invoice or date of payment. DOP means date of payment. DOI means date of invoice. EOF means earlier of the following. Earlier of the following for date of payment will be taken what? Recorded in books or credited in bank account. Recorded in books or credited in bank account, whichever is earlier. Whichever is earlier. Okay. But again, invoice I have to check and payment I have to check. Whichever is earlier to be considered. Okay. If date of invoice is given, then date of issue of invoice. If date of invoice is not given, then again we have to refer section 31 subsection 1. If invoice has been raised, perfect. If invoice is not raised by the supplier, in such case we need to follow section 31 subsection 1, which says date on which the invoice is supposed to be issued. Okay, you have not issued, no problem, but it was supposed to be issued, that date to be considered. Okay. So what is the date to be considered as on which date the invoice is supposed to be issued. There are two kind of goods, either movable goods or immovable goods. For movable goods, before the delivery of supply, I mean before you are uh, giving the goods to someone else, or time of removal, या तो before removal or time of removal, you need to raise the invoice, then only you can deliver the goods, not prior to that. For immovable goods, date of delivery or usage by recipient, okay, whichever is earlier will be considered as date of supply or time of supply under section 12 subsection 2 of CGST Act. Then if the advance has been taken up to 1000 rupees, okay, if the amount of rupees 1000 has been taken in excess of the amount of that invoice, all option is given to the supplier. So if it is 999 rupees, then option is given to the supplier what they are considering as time of supply, date of issue of invoice or date of receipt or such payment. So of course they will take whichever is later, क्योंकि जितना लेट लगेगा उतना ड्यू डेट आगे बढ़ेगा, because the due date in GST is the next month 20th. Most of the cases is 20th of the next date you need to pay the tax. So what they will decide here, it is earlier of the following. But अगर आपने advance लिया है and the amount of advance is less than 1000 rupees, then option is there with you. आप कुछ भी consider कर सकते हैं, या तो invoice और payment जो आपको लेना है. तो आप कौन सा consider करोगे? Being the wise businessman, we will always go whichever is later. But here we need to, if the payment is less than 1000, then in that case you have this option. But if it is more than 1000, then you do not have any option. Then you have to follow this which is there under section 12 subsection 2. Okay, invoice or payment, whichever early. In short, दिमाग में रखने का, whichever is done first, या तो invoice बन गया, या तो deliver हो गया, या तो usage हो गया, जो पहला होगा वही date of time of supply हो जाएगा. Simple. Except if the advance is taken less than 1000 rupees. अगर 1000 rupees से कम advance है, because you are in frequent buying and selling, in such case this is option given to the supplier which they can consider either the invoice or the receipt, whichever is earlier. Okay, this is talking about forward charges. Now let us talk about reverse charges. Reverse में क्या होता है? Supplier is not liable to pay the tax. Why? Because they are either unregistered or something like that. In such case, the recipient of the goods, मैंने पहले भी आपको बताया था, forward and reverse charges, when we were dealing with section 10 of CGST Act, forward charges or reverse charges. Okay, in forward charges, supplier is liable to pay the tax to the government. In reverse charges, recipient will be liable to pay the tax to the government. This is the difference. Okay, तो बार बार आएगा RCM, reverse charge mechanism, बार बार आएगा जहाँ भी इसकी जरूरत होगी. So again we are here in section 12 as well. So if it is reverse charge mechanism, then it is there under section 12 subsection 3. You have to take date of receipt of the good or date of payment, again whichever is earlier, either you have written in books or it is reflected in bank, or date of immediate following the 30th day, 30वां दिन जो होगा will be considered as date of or time of supply, date of supply or time of supply. If there is a residual provision, in such cases of reverse charges, date of entry in the books where there is a regular payment has been done. You are regularly making, computing and paying to the government. In such case, जिस दिन the taxable person is writing in their books will be considered as time of supply. उसके लिए कोई नया provision सीखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Then we have section 12 subsection 4 which talks about voucher. There are two type of voucher. Okay, if it is identifiable. Okay, there are two type of voucher where the supply is identifiable. In such case, date of issue of voucher. If supply is not identifiable, then date of redemption of voucher. Okay, we will see all these things in detail when we will have different questions. Like you must have seen the voucher. Suppose आपको vouchers मिला है McDonald's का. Okay, McDonald's का voucher where the supply is identifiable. Why it is identifiable? क्योंकि मैं उसको McDonald's में ही redeem कर सकता हूँ. So in that case, date of issue of voucher will be considered as time of supply. But suppose आपको Growell's का voucher मिला है, where there are so many provisions there. आप groceries में उसको use कर सकते हैं, आप कॉस्मेटिक में यूज़ कर सकते हैं, आप फूड मार्ट में यूज़ कर सकते हैं. तो जहाँ पे सप्लाई आइडेंटिफाइबल नहीं है, देन इन दैट केस डेट ऑफ रिडम्पशन, जिस दिन रिडीम करेगा उस दिन उसको कंसीडर किया जाएगा डेट ऑफ सप्लाई और टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई. ओके, रेसिडुअल मेथड वेयर देयर इज रेगुलर पेमेंट, रेगुलर रिटर्न्स, एवरीथिंग इज डन बाय द टैक्सेबल पर्सन. Okay, if the periodical recording to be and return to be filed is called residual method, then the date of filing of the return will be considered as time of supply. If date of filing is not given, then in that date where the tax is been paid will be considered as time of supply. Okay, and if at all addition in the value of supply, if by way of interest, late fees, penalty, delayed payment, अगर ऐसा कुछ आ गया आपके पास, in such cases the date on which the supplier receiving such additional imposition on that taxable person will be considered as time of supply. So कुछ भी हो सकता है. Suppose आपने ऑर्डर करा, अमेजोन से गुड्स ऑर्डर किया, तो आपको गुड्स उसमें क्या होगा, आप पहले पेमेंट कर, देयर कुड बी टू थिंग्स, ईदर यू कैन मेक द पेमेंट एंड गेट द डिलीवरी इन द गुड्स. सो पेमेंट इज क्रेडिटेड फर्स्ट एंड देन यू विल गेट द बुक्स गुड्स. तो उसमें क्या होगा, जिस दिन क्रेडिट हो जाएगा वही दिन उसको टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई हो जाएगा एंड दे विल बी लायबल टू पे टैक्स. लेट अस टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ 20th Feb एंड 1st March. बहुत फ़र्क हो जाता है. 20th Feb अगर आया सो टैक्सेबल लायबिलिटी इज ऑन 20th of March, और 1st March पे अगर ट्रांजैक्शन आया देन ड्यू डेट इज 20th of April. So the time of supply is very vital and very important. That is why so many provisions and these kind of things are feasible and possible. जैसे मैंने just now I had discussed about vouchers. Similarly there is could be possibilities. अगर हमने बोला क्या बोलते हैं ऑन डिलीवरी, जब भी वो देगा तभी मैं पेमेंट करूँगा. इफ सपोज गुड्स हैज बीन डिलीवर्ड, तो उसमें क्या होगा, पेमेंट इज डन लेटर ऑन आफ्टर रिसीविंग द गुड्स. तो उसके बैंक में बाद में रिकॉर्डेड होगा, बिफोर यू विल गेट द डिलीवरी ऑफ गुड्स. या हो सकता है या इनवॉइस किस दिन उसने रेज किया है. तो उनके लिए ये देखा जाएगा, अगर उन्होंने कल डिलीवरी किया बट आज के डेट पे इनवॉइस बन गया है, तो दे आर लाइबल टू पे द टैक्स ऑन टुडेज डेट. और आज अगर 28 Feb है और कल 1 March है, so then on as per the 20th Feb their liability will be accrued and arise on 20th of March. I hope you must have understood the integrity of time of supply. It's very important. There are many different types of questions, but these subsections are very important. And nowhere in any of the textbook this manner they have explained the time of supply. I can challenge. So section 12 subsection 1, section 12 subsection 2 is very very important. Majority of the junk is covered here, and these are some cases whereby these are very limited cases, but major क्या होता है फॉरवर्ड चार्जेस में आ जाते हैं सब. So kindly take down. For me, no one is so kindly take down now all the entire chart, and then we will go for the question one by one. सब पे एक छोटा छोटा questions लेंगे, and then we will see how we should carry forward as far as time of supply is concerned for goods under section 12 of CGST Act. So just complete and then let me know.